somebody from the existing establishment of both corrupt parties was going to get this done, we wouldn't be where we are. We've talked about a lot of the problems that we face, right? And so I want to end on this. I don't think we have to be that nation in decline. I don't think we have to be ancient Rome at the end of that ancient Roman Empire. I don't. I think as a nation right now, we're really just a little young, actually. That's the way I see it. Going through our own version of adolescence. Figuring out who we're going to be when we grow up. And when you view it that way, it makes sense again. To me, it does. When you go through your adolescence, you go through that identity crisis. You do some stupid things. Most of us probably did. But we are stronger when we get to our adulthood on the other side. So no, I don't think we have to be that nation in decline. I think we can still be a nation in our ascent. I'm not going to be the guy who comes in here and tells you, hey guys, it's morning in America, because it's not. But it can be. I'm not going to tell you, hey, the American dream is alive and well. It is not. It is alive and hanging on with life support. But it can be again. And I do believe that it's going to take somebody whose best days in life are still yet ahead to see a country whose best days are ahead of itself. It's going to take a president who, yes, comes from the outside, willing to break glass. Trump brought that, I bring that, that's great. But also somebody who knows and understands the law and the Constitution of this country. Those two things don't go together usually. Usually you get one or the other, you don't get both. That's what gives me my sense of purpose and duty to see this through. Tell you, this got to be an America First candidate that leads this country forward, but we are not working with a lot of time. And I think I wouldn't be in this race if this weren't true. I think I'm the last best chance that we have within this window before our interest payments on our national debt become the largest line item in our federal budget, which is going to happen in the next 4 to 5 years. This is our last chance before we get into that quicksand. That is why I'm in this. And if I saw there was a better person doing this, believe me, I'd rather be living a more comfortable life a different way. But we are in this for the next 8 years. And if you all do your part, if I win Iowa, I'm your next president. Everything we said, by the time we leave office in January 2033, we will shut down the deep state. We'll declare independence from communist China. I'll keep us out of World War III, grow this economy, revive national pride. That's our destination. You guys do your part here in Iowa. You guys, it's a small group here. That's great. We love that. Go tell 100 people, 20 people, what we talked about today. Bring them out on January 15th. You all do your part. We're going to do ours and step up to do what the establishment in both parties has failed to do. You had your hand up. I can't leave you hanging.
I just have to ask this. I know you don't have a lot of time to answer, but what about securing the
Oh yeah.
U.S. president? That is like
This is
so
easily
important.
doable. This is back to the spirit of his first question. Here's what I can do without asking Congress for permission or for forgiveness. Put a moratorium on every dime of foreign aid going to Central America until each of those countries has built a wall all the way from Venezuela to Mexico on their own borders. Now at our own border, don't just build the wall, build both walls, northern and southern border. Don't just build the wall, but use our own military to protect our own borders, not somebody else's halfway around the world, sooner than our own border. Now we're actually talking. Use aquatic barriers in the Rio Grande. They work. They're cheap. The government's not using them not because they don't work, but because they do work. Now the best border policy of all, end the incentives to be here illegally. Not a dime of federal funding to sanctuary cities. We're done with that. Of our money going to fund sanctuary cities. And that's done. It's an easily solved problem. And then here's where I go further than other Republicans, but it's necessary. And it's true to the Constitution. End birthright citizenship for the kids of illegal migrants. The 14th Amendment was never intended to apply to them. That's how you solve that border crisis. And the last piece of this is the hardest part, but we're going to get this done. If you're in this country illegally, we will return you to your country of origin. and have a clear plan to do it. 6,000 ICE agents can't. But there's this 289G section of the law that says actually local police officers, if they're empowered by ICE, can serve the warrants of ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. That's 1 million people. That can get this job done. So in the first few months in office, that much I'm gonna be able to do to be able to secure both the borders of this country and end the illegal mass migration problem. But it's gonna take a leader with a spine willing to see this through. And that's why it comes back to that national identity. Answer who we are as Americans. Revive our national identity. We're founded on the rule of law, founded on the basic principles enshrined in that flag. It's not about the cloth that is printed on that we pledge allegiance to. We pledge allegiance to the ideals that that flag represents. That is what we need in the next president, to revive those ideals. And I'm here to ask for your help. I'm not going to do this alone. I'm not letting you all off the hook that easily. Even as president, it's going to be pastors, parents, coaches across this country that do their part to revive who we are. But in the next 50 days, I really need your specific help. The system is set up for making sure a guy like me doesn't do this. Coming from the outside, from the next generation. Ronna McDaniel, the corrupt chairwoman of the RNC, has said, I won't get another cent of funding from the RNC for having the gall to criticize them for their failures in 2018 and 2020 and 2022 and 2023, while her salary tripled. So for calling that out, I'm now punished and say they won't give another cent to me. Her uncle, Mitt Romney, has said that he would sooner vote for a Democrat than to vote for me. Fine. So be it. I don't report to them. I report to you. That's the beauty of this country. Iowa goes first for a reason. We're going to keep it that way. And I can trust you all to tell the difference between somebody's going to give you some poll-tested platitudes in here and somebody who's telling you what they actually think. You all are trained to do this. It's why Iowa goes first. You got 20 people, 100 people in this community. I'm not asking for a donation of your money. I'm asking for the ultimate donation of your time. An hour a week between now and the caucus over the next 50 days. Come out 30 minutes of your time and your friends and your family and your neighborhood's time on January 15th. Most of the people, many of the people supporting us, many of them have never been in a caucus before. They're not polled. We are about to deliver a shock on January 15th. If I win this caucus, I'm your next president. If I'm your next president, we get everything I've promised you today. We're not going to make promises we can't keep, but the promises I've made you today, we get done. We are not working with a lot of time, and so if you all do your part, I really mean this. Apurva and I, my wife and I, and our family, we are going to do ours to make sure that our country's best days are, yes, still ahead of us. Thank you for coming today, guys. I appreciate you.